Hey guys, been wanting to do this video for a while. Do a walkthrough of my kayak, ATAK 140. Just show you kind of some of the things that I've got and rigged up. It makes it easy for me. Um, I recently put a trolling motor on it. I wound up taking a piece of PVC and taping it till it's thick enough so when I push this down, um, it just pushes on and off with just a little, just fits kind of snug. Just put some electrical tape up there. I took and bought the wire, some 4-wire conductor from Home Depot. Um, Wired it down and just kind of separated it from the trolling motor. And when I get ready to take it off, fishing tournaments that don't allow, or if I'm fishing smaller water or shallow water, um, I can take it off. It also pivots. I can swing it side to side. Um, Makes it pretty easy. Keeps it all one piece. Plus, my reason for leaving this was I was able to see battery life on my handle. Also took one of the mounts out of the seat and attached a cup holder. I'm kind of a minimalist. I don't really like a whole lot of stuff on my kayak. It makes it easier for me to get ready to go fishing if I don't have to deal with a lot. This is something that Brad Case just showed recently on his some of his videos. Is the Gatlin tube rod holder. I actually did it with Schedule 80 PVC. My cousin, he pushed a bearing, so it's actually a sealed bearing up in there with a 90-degree mount, and I can take it and put it on an 8-inch arm. I can loosen, I can spin to the side, and I can spin also around to me and lock it into place in any position. Also, when I get, when I want it out of my way, I can put it back behind me, push it down, and locks. And as you can see, it's not going anywhere. All my rods, I actually took all my rod holders off except for this one, just to kind of less on the kayak. To me, less is better. That's just my opinion. Also, if you see right here, this is kind of the neat thing behind this. On the trolling motor, we actually took the mount off and and we actually installed a pin, and so we made these two L brackets, and I actually took the Wilderness Systems ATAK mount and mounted these two plates. They're just L plates, as you can see. They're just L plates, and I got a little bolt through here as a stop. Mounted these two L plates, that way it can just come down and it actually goes free in the water. I've got it set to the depth I want it, so I can loosen up my anchor trolley. It deploys the trolling motor, and of course I tried it with cable first. I did a lot of saltwater fishing. As you know, it's not going to last, so I wound up going with a Wilderness Systems rudder kit and using it instead. And then to start off with, I had 2 eye boats, and it was allowing the motor to hang free so it can be kicked up by stumps and rocks. The problem I was having was the eye bolts were mounted up and straight across. So what that did, every time I went to push my feet, it would bring the motor up out of the water. So we actually made a bracket, a metal bracket, steel bracket, and clamped it on. And by bringing this arm down, it keeps it from pulling upward, and it works really, really well. I've had no problems with it. Can't complain about this at all. When I get ready, when I'm done, I can take these right here, put the pin back through, put these to the pin, and that keeps my foot, that makes my foot pedals stay stationary, so they don't move as if you had a rudder on all the time. Just a couple of the ideas I did get off of other guys' videos. One being the cheer stopper, which I thought was really clean, made it look really well. And as I say, I can bring this up. The Anchor Wizard really don't want to take the weight of bringing the motor up out of the water, but if I push both my feet forward and keep the motor level, keep it from spinning as it comes up, I can pull this rope and just crank it, and it actually holds it into place. And then once it gets here, if I'm traveling or want it up out of the water for a long period of time, I can tighten down the nut, and of course this tighten down won't go in the water. I actually painted this, just give it a little life. I like colors. I also took the lizard skins grips, whichever wore out, and done those. I changed the bungee. Like I said, a lot of this stuff I've seen on previous videos that I really took a liking to. I don't really like a lot of clutter. I've thought about taking this cord. I'm not a big fan of drilling into my kayaks, but the cord seems to work fine. Never gets in the way. I mean, it just sits wherever. It hasn't given me a problem thus far. I thought about taking and buying me a waterproof plug to go in here and then run it out the top. That way I could just take either or off my handle or my motor and have everything run kind of internally connected to. But I hadn't yet. Kind of a tough decision on whether or not to put a hole that size in a expensive boat. But also, one thing I want to add is let's see what was. Oh, I took the rotor grip and put it on a GoPro camera mount, and actually drilled a hole and put a little screw right there so it wouldn't spin 360 for standing. It does really well. I just took some cord and some of these gear ties to tie when I'm out in salt water. I don't worry much on lakes, but when I'm in salt water, I can put them as rod leashes. Those are just cheap and inexpensive, and to me they work just as well. Wilderness Systems cart, best cart ever. Can't complain one bit. I personally don't even think you need the straps. I've went over some pretty tough terrain with this kayak. I guess the weight of it helps too. No issue of falling off the cart. I mean, it's a great cart. Also, I got the sand tires, but most of the time I use these. One other thing is the ride-on trailer. For the price, for the money, I just recently bought the rack to go on it. So I'm pretty excited about getting that. That way I can put my wife's on here also. Kayak trailer. It's a great thing to have. Storing it, moving it, especially with a heavy boat or two boats, it really helps. But that's all I got, guys. I just wanted to show you a little bit about my setup, what I had. I know I'm always looking for videos to find things people have done, modifications, stuff that seems pretty simple to me, and what'll work well. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I added. I added some flavor to some of the videos I've seen, and also I've used some ideas. But once again, just to give you kind of a good look at my trolling motor mount, how I've got it. Like I said, it's just two welded L brackets that's bolted onto the kayak with a stop, and it's just a through pin. That's all it is, just a through pin. I can take it off and on, pretty simple. I love it. Can't complain one bit. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Not much of a speaker, but see ya.